Hello everybody, it's me, your friendly neighborhood, and Spider-Man No Way Home machine broke.
How's this helping?
This movie felt like another milestone in the webhead's history, since for the very first time we got to see 3 generations of Spider-Man in live action all together on the big screen. And yeah, Tobey was the only one I really cared about. It was so cathartic to see Tobey Maguire step back into the shoes of the wall crawler, since he hadn't played the character in over 15 years at that point. But you're not here to watch me blow my load about a movie, we're here to talk about toys. Last time Hasbro made a 1/12 scale Tobey Maguire figure, it was for their Spider-Man trilogy line, and it quite literally was a shitty reuse of the 2004 Toy Biz mold with shitty paint, really shitty plastic, and the articulation was somehow worse. So yeah, to say it's been long overdue for a proper Raimi figure, and let me tell ya, Hasbro was really grinding everyone's nerves dragging their feet on the No Way Home Marvel Legends. And even when they did finally reveal them, they were just 3D renders, not the actual physical prototypes. And they used those 3D renders to put them up for pre-order. That already was a red flag in itself to me, but I decided to bite the pre-order for the Spider-Man 3-pack. Flash forward a couple of months later and the SH Figuarts Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man came out, and this figure was amazing. Then a couple of months later, the actual physical Marvel Legends figures were revealed. And to say I was absolutely not impressed is an understatement. I canceled my pre-order because I was not to pay $100 for that shit. And it looks like I did it just in time because not long after the reveal, the actual figures were being shipped out. Almost like they fucking waited the last minute to show everybody what they would actually physically look like, and before anybody could cancel their pre-orders, they immediately started shipping. And to say people were disappointed in this 3-pack would be quite the understatement, especially regarding Tobey's figure. We got shit paint, really shitty plastic, and the articulation was somehow worse. But is this figure really as bad as everyone's saying it is? Or did we treat this figure too harshly? Ladies and gentlemen, despite my better judgment, I decided to grab the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Marvel Legends figure secondhand. And without further ado, let's get right into the review. Painting and sculpting is, Jesus Christ, it's a mixed bag with this fucking thing. On one hand, the sculpting is actually not half bad, the webbing is raised, the logos are 3D and painted pretty well, but then you look at everything else and then my compliments just get tossed out the window. The figure is supposed to be Spider-Man, but it has no muscle detail whatsoever. He just looks like he has a basic dad bod with weird proportions. Now, the blue parts have this brick pattern that is synonymous with the Raimi suit, but then you get to the red parts and
What in the actual fuck?
why do the red parts have a completely different texture? It has more of a honeycomb pattern to it instead of keeping it bricked up. Pause. Can't even say you appreciate the effort that was put into it because this amount of effort was unnecessary to begin with. This honeycomb pattern was more present on the TASM suits, not the Raimi suit. It's actually one of the reasons why the paint applications on the webs are so bad. Oh god, no, the paint applications. The emblems are fine. They are cleanly painted, but I personally feel like the chest emblem should have been a more solid black. But the cobwebs, yeah, it doesn't even look like they tried to paint these all the way on. The webs are already faded and bleeding into the suit texture. What the actual fuck? They clearly did not give a shit when it came to this part of the figure. And the masked head. Oh my goodness, what the fuck? Y'all know I hate this mask, but Hasbro decided to consider it a challenge to make me hate it even more. This mask sculpt is fucking horrendous. It doesn't even look like a cloth mask. It looks like a helmet for a small head. And yes, they made the head more rounded and squashed, and I really don't like that. It's so jarring. It doesn't even look like a human head anymore. Another thing I want to point out is his neck. It's not like a separate piece. It's molded to where it's sticking out awkwardly. So if you do try to push his head back to look straight, it looks like he's sucking in his chin. Also, his accessories, he comes with it's just a piece of plastic, youth. It's okay. Just ignore the fact that they've been reusing this accessory for the past 20 fucking years! He comes with 3 sets of hands, and I got a point. This is bothering me. They're really small. Why does he have baby hands? The throbbing hands are the ones that bother me the most. And to show I'm not going insane, here he is with the Amazing Fantasy 15 hands. Looks way better, don't it? And the torso is oddly segmented, which once again plays into the odd proportions. And now that I mention that, let me get into the Okay, starting at the head, it's a really weird system that they made. I like the ball joint hinge combo that they had going that was used with the Amazing Fantasy 15, because look at how far ahead he can look now, and he can actually look down that far. But for the Marvel Legends Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, they have like a dumbbell joint system that is... It limits the articulation of the head by a lot. Originally, could only get like a very limited range of motion. Even the pose that's on the box is a gigantic lie. The box advertises a pose that the figure can't even do. So he could only do like a little bit. He can only look up a little bit. But of course, I did the modification on the back of the neck, that by cutting out some plastic, and now he can actually look all the way up like I want him to. And of course, this is on a ball joint. You know there has to be a swivel here. It's got a pretty limited butterfly joint, but it's very limited. Arm can move out, 360 rotation. You got a bicep swivel here, double jointed elbows, wrist swivel, and of course each of the hands have like a hinge joint so it can go in and out. Diaphragm joint on the chest allows for a chest swivel, which is always welcome. As I mentioned before, it's got this really odd joint here where he can crunch pretty far in thanks to that diaphragm joint, but of course really weird proportion work here. It just looks really off-putting. But also he can arc out this far. Once again, that looks really fucking weird. Why did they sculpt it like this? This looks so off. Also, they didn't finish this bottom area here. He can kick up this far, but thanks to his ass, he really cannot move back that far. I swivel, double bend at the knee, no calf swivel, getting up and down at the ankle, and you also get an ankle pivot, but you do not get a toe swivel, motherfuck. For a Marvel Legends figure, I'd say the articulation is fine. Now, if Hasbro weren't such lazy motherfuckers, they actually could have beat out Toy Biz in some aspects. And again, as a Marvel Legends figure, it is good. But what sucks is that it was already beat out by a previously released figure. Proportion-wise, too. Because look at the muscles this guy have. And then look at Tobey. Tobey is a jacked Spider-Man. He should have the same build as the Amazing Fantasy 15 figure. What the fuck is this nonsense? A lot of these things I already went over in the breakdown of the figure itself, but for starters, the colors of the suit are just all wrong. Tobey's suit had a dark shade of red and navy blue on his suit. Not whatever this kid's color Spider-Man bullshit is. That's what this looks like. A kid just took a bright red and bright blue marker with a silver gel pen, and this was the result. These colors need to be darker. The silver of the webbing is way too bright, and it's very messily painted on. I'd probably have to grab a gunmetal Gundam pen and go over those or something. But above all else, these damn goofy-ass head sculpts that make this figure look more like a bootleg than an official figure.
It's actually pissing me off. I don't get your existence. Your articulation is whack. Your sculpts are whack. Your paint is garbage in your face! You're a fraud, Marvel Legends Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man!
Huh?
¿Quieres?
You know what? I think I take back a lot of the shit I said about this figure. It's kind of crazy how custom head makes a difference. It turned this abomination to an abomination with a pretty face. For real though, Farrell has been coming in clutch for making these trilogy accurate head sculpts, and at a price that won't make you feel like you might as well bought an entirely new figure. He actually has his own online store now that I will be plugging in the description. Fair warning though, when his stuff becomes available for purchase, they tend to sell out pretty quickly. So keep that in mind and just make sure you keep an eye open for when he opens up to take orders. You should also follow him on Instagram just to keep extra insurance out for when he does put out for pre-orders. Seeing as this is your standard Marvel Legends figure, he stands at 6 inches tall. Here he is next to Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man 3 Venom, Marvel Legends No Way Home Green Goblin, Marvel Legends Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock, the SH Figuarts Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, me, and finally, the Spider-Man 2 Toy Biz Superposable Spider-Man. I mean, I guess this figure isn't too bad, but it's obvious this figure should have been way better than what Hasbro's offering. I swear, I have a Spider-Sense feeling that down the line Hasbro is going to do a trilogy line again, and they're actually going to redo this figure and give him the right details. In the meantime, I'll probably have to commission somebody to fix the paint issues on him, or just paint him in a darker coat to tone down the brightness of the colors. 100% a new coat of paint would help this figure out. But proportional issues on the torso alone just knocks this figure down a couple of pegs. It's definitely not the worst Tobey figure by Hasbro standards, but god damn it, does it feel like they tried to do that? It's a good budget figure if you don't want to pay the SH Figuarts and aren't comfortable getting the bootleg figures. And if you do plan on getting the Marvel Legends Tobey, I highly advise you to get the Marvel Legends Trilogy Accurate Head from Faro Store. Once again, link to that will be in the description below. And by the way, I am well aware that Hasbro did re-release this figure with a Peter Parker head. But, Jesus Christ, Hasbro, that doesn't even remotely look like Tobey. And to make matters worse, he's missing hands. They took his left fist and right open hand. Honestly, just scour for the 3-pack version and get the third-party accessories for the heads. That's just foul. What the fuck?